Hello, my amazing adventurous Aries. Welcome, welcome. It is Sanchi the Scorpio, and I am here to do your guided healing for the month of March. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. And Aries, thank you so much for all of your likes. You are in second place this month, one like away from being in first place. And, you know, I'm doing bonus twin flame readings for whichever video gets the most likes in the previous video segment. So one like away from tying for first, Aries. And you were in first for last month's guided healing. So I appreciate all of your support on my channel. And let's bring those likes back. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. So this is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had Temperance. Okay. So this is some Sagittarian energy. For me, this is a little bit more Libran because the story of this card is the Swan Maidens. And these are spirits that are able to transform into beautiful ladies by shedding their feathers. Okay. And mortal men like to catch them and domesticate them. I wonder why. But if the swan feathers, you know, that they get rid of in order to transform into a woman are found, then they turn back into a swan. So there is some energy of shape shifting here. Okay. So definitely changing things on the surface, shape-shifting form, and, you know, being caught by somebody else because of that, or being found, you know, more desirable in a certain form, you know, maybe the naked form as opposed to with your feathers on. Temperance, of course, also indicates, you know, trying to balance out emotionality, right? You try to temper the water. You take piping hot water and freezing cold water, and you try to find that lukewarm intermediate. So I do see that there is some emotional balance that is trying to go on. I will also say temperance literally means the abstinence of alcohol. So there can also be some maybe substance stuff that's going on and how that's influenced with shape-shifting. But we had Sylveon X come out using Precious Ribbon. So this gives me even more of a you know, surface value kind of Libran energy, right? Because Libra rules the skin. It's your sister sign, so you know. So Sylveon X, whenever this comes out, and it is a holographic, it does tell me that there is some X that is back again. Okay, so it does look like there's some X that's kind of, you know, looking like a precious ribbon, looking like, you know, like they are the bee's knees on the outside, right? At surface value, looking like they really want, you know, that they're very desirable, I would say, like, ooh, shiny, you know, that's how it feels tapping into this person. And then we had Burmy using Hang Down. So, you know, this is the heart chakra. It feels like your heart kind of drops a little bit around them, but more so they're like, hey, you want to hang out? But then we had Frostlass, another holographic, using Drag Along. Okay, so this is telling me emotionally, this is just dragging along. Okay. So that's what came out in the cleansing ceremony, dear Aries. This month, what we are going to do is we're going to take a look into what emotional depths are you in, right? We're in Pisces season, which is that deep, dark, unseen water. And next is Aries season. And, you know, it's all about that fire, duh. So we need to make sure that we get out of those emotional depths and, you know, prepare for the fire. So we're going to check what emotional depths are you in, and then we're going to check what is keeping you down, what is keeping you stuck there. And then in the extended, we're going to take a look into how do we bring you to shore. So how do we get out of that water? And that will be the earth and physical element that is necessary. And then we're going to look into how do we dry you off, which is the air and mental aspect of this, which of course, when you're grounded and dry, then we can spark that fire, right, Aries? And then of course, we will look into some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline, and also look into some oracle advice. So let's take a look. What emotional depths is Aries in? Ooh, okay. 2 of Swords and 4 of Swords. Ooh, it's like a gridlock, honestly. There does seem to be communication, like there is some, but it seems to kind of be all in your head. There's definitely someone who's pretty cold here. There's a lot that hasn't been reconciled. Okay, there might be communication. It might be psychically. It's very indirect communication. Maybe liking each other's photos or something like that, but it's not direct. Like, the foundation of the communication in the situation, you got me rhyming, Aries, damn, is that you're kind of feeling left out in the cold. This is masculine energy that's very standoffish. Two of Swords for me is always when, you know, the conversation should be between two people, but you have to finish it in your own head. So it's kind of like you by yourself, like playing both roles, going back and forth. So again, that can be a psychic communication where you're communicating with them. But the Four of Swords here, this is the Quay, and they are like a spirit that can't pass into the other realm for whatever sort of, you know, for multiple reasons why they can't like ascend to the next level. So they kind of just haunt things, specifically like keys and stuff. But so they just sort of linger. So again, there's like all this stuff just like lingering in the air here, and you've just kind of been in your head about it. I'm going to ask for one more. Tell us about this. Ooh, about the Ace of Cups. Yeah, it's love. It's love. It's love. So you want some sort of love offering. It does seem like you guys are part of two different worlds right now. Again, it definitely feels like this communication is very like passive aggressive, I want to say. Again, it's like liking each other's photos or like reacting to stories or something like that. Like still far, like so close, but yet so far is what I want to say. And that's just how this love is, like so close, but yet so far. All right, what's the light energy here? I'm just putting you in the depths. Ooh, yeah, we got two heart chakras coming out. So kind of coming out stuck, but more in reverse, like Metapod using adaptive evolution and harden, and Ninkata using slight intrusion in reverse. So the thing is that this has caused your heart chakra to harden. You've put up these walls, and it is adaptive evolution, right? It's not saying like you're doing it on purpose, like you're being a bad person putting walls around your heart. That's not the case whatsoever. It's just like, this is how your heart has adapted to what has happened. You know, it has hardened, and to where your heart chakra is no longer open, to where you don't want any sort of slight intrusion in your heart. You don't want anybody around, like, you know, to be able to hurt you, so to speak. Okay. So that's why it's still so close and yet so far. That's why this conversation's in your head. That's why the foundation of this is that it's like, what I'm seeing is literally like, it's like, this is you, this guy, and then like, there's your beloved, and you know, she's like singing a song about like all of the unresolved issues. And it's just kind of like, that's how it feels. There's just like all these like ghosts around you of like all these unresolved issues that you have with this person in terms of love. But when it comes down to it, the thing is that you just love them. Like, period. End of story. You love them. You know they love you. You want a love offering, but it's out in the cold. And your heart is hardened because of this. So it says, a steel hard shell protects its tender body. It quietly endures hardship while awaiting evolution. Yeah, so it does look like your heart's more in a pupate state right now, right? And that makes sense. We're still in Pisces season before the rebirth. So it looks like you're really preparing for more of that rebirth, excuse me, in Aries season. So, you know, you're waiting for more things to evolve. So it feels like that's kind of why you're keeping your distance, is because like, you know that you have your guard up and you're waiting for the situation to evolve, and you don't want any sort of intrusion into your heart chakra that might hurt you, especially as you can see coming out of the root, because you don't want this to uproot you or to make you feel unsafe or anything like that, right? It says, it can sometimes live underground for more than 10 years. It absorbs nutrients from the roots of trees. Yeah, exactly. You don't want this to be taken from your root chakra, and your root chakra is your sense of safety. You know, also your eating, sleeping, you know, drinking patterns, but it feels more like a safety issue. You don't want this person to be able to make you feel unsafe, so you have these walls up around your heart. You've hardened it towards them, even though you really do love them, but it's like, I gotta love you from a distance right now. And it does talk about coming back from 10 years, so this can be a relationship that has been going on for quite some time. Let's see, what's the shadow here? Solar plexus. So pride. We got this pride in here in the shadow. So it looks like, you know, in the shadow is your solar plexus chakra, which is, you know, your sense of self, your willpower. You might be, you know, lacking motivation in some ways. You know, maybe stuck in ego, stuck in pride. Your solar plexus is, you know, like, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. So it does seem to be a little bit of a pride issue. Let's get some more information on that. Tell us more about this solar plexus. Tell us more about this solar plexus. Ursa-ring using swing around. Yeah, it kind of feels the same energy of like being dragged along. It feels like you've been swung around here, and look how Ursa-ring is like, the emphasis is on the solar plexus, right? That's exactly where it is, that yellow circle. So, you know, bear spirit is very protective. Bear spirit is, you know, very fierce, and it feels like that's how it is. Like, you know, you got swung around in some sort of way. Someone, I'm hearing like, what's a swinger? What's a swinger? I feel like there could have been some, maybe non-ethical, non-monogamy. Anyway, yeah, there's definitely a very protective, like, bear spirit inside of you that's just coming out, kind of like mama bear, like your own inner mama bear coming out to protect your own pride. Very like Leo energy, you know. It says, although it has a large body, it is quite skilled at climbing trees. It eats and sleeps in the treetops. Yeah, so you might be working a lot on, you know, how your ego is getting off, is like, you know, maybe working out, and, you know, like, it's not that you want to be like skinny or, you know, exist less, but you're like working on being agile and like building mass and, you know, like, I'm stronger than you sort of thing. It does look like that is part of this pride and how it's kind of manifested in the shadow here. Let's take a look at what is keeping you stuck or down. I will say, Aries, so far, this is the lightest read. So I'm sure it's just because you're preparing for your own season that you're in a pretty good mood, and I can feel that you're in a pretty good place, and I'm so proud of you for that, because the 3 that I did yesterday, man, woo. All right, let's see, what is keeping you down or stuck? We have the 10 of Cups in reverse. So you feel like you can't celebrate the ending of what has happened. And that's just kind of, you know, you want to be celebrating. The 10 of Cups, this is Dia de los Muertos, right? The Day of the Dead. And this is, you know, 10 of Cups is when you finish an emotional cycle with somebody else. So you're disappointed that you haven't been able to conclude that cycle with somebody else, with the other person, and you want to be celebrating them. You want them to be celebrating you. You want to be together. 10 of Cups is also wish fulfillment, right? Breaking ancestral curses together. But that just hasn't happened, and it's keeping you down. Ooh, and the High Priestess. Ooh. Yeah, so this is really affecting your spiritual path, and you maybe you feel like it's part of your High Priestess, you know, divine feminine spiritual energy to know that that's how it should be, or that's what you think it should be, is that you two should be celebrating each other. But instead, you know, you aren't. Okay? There could be another feminine involved, possibly, but the thing is like, you know, like, look what she's holding. That is the solar plexus, okay? The High Priestess in this deck, what she is holding is, like, the essence of your soul, and she's able to look into it. And it feels like that's kind of what is keeping you down, because, like, it feels, you know your own self, right? You know it. Yeah, your solar plexus is a bit in the shadow with sort of this, like, you know, not feeling yourself in a certain way. That you want to change your exterior appearance. Again, it's that Temperance kind of shape-shifting on the outside, like, okay, if I'm stronger or if I look a certain way, maybe they'll want to catch me, sort of thing. But it also feels like, you know, you're looking into this other person's soul, and you've been able to see into their soul. And because your divine feminine energy has seen into their soul, part of what you saw is, this person is supposed to be celebrating me. This person's supposed to be breaking ancestral curses with me. This person is my wish fulfillment, and I am there. So why the F is it like this? Oh my God, Aries, I'm channeling your rage. Oof. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Let's see what's the light energy. Steel energy. So there could have been someone who stole something from you. Someone stole your person. Again, there could be another feminine here. But again, you can't steal something, right, unless they're willing in a certain way. But anyway, so steel energy does talk about, you know, again, it's like those walls up, right? So part of what is keeping you stuck is, I mean, usually steel energy is good, right? Because you want to know how to protect your aura. You want to know how to put up boundaries. But it looks like the fact that you've hardened your heart so much is actually kind of doing you a little bit of disservice, because this is a very protected, guarded, get the F away from me type energy. Let's look a little bit more into this. Tell us more about this steel energy. Gloom, drool in reverse. So again, there does seem, you know, there's this propensity that has to do with the heart chakra and drool in reverse, and like no longer drooling over it. Again, like there could have been some time in the past where, you know, you were just drooling over this person and you just went to them like a moth to a flame, you know, and now your barriers does stop you from being like that, a drooling fool towards them, but it's still, let's take a look. Yeah, slack off, big yawn, going right to the solar plexus. So again, it's like these walls that have put you up, and yes, it stops you from, you know, uncontrollably going towards them, like you can't control your heart, but it has also made you be like, okay, this conversation, like big yawn, like I'm not even interested, I'm not this, that, or the other thing, when yes, you do, you're in love, you've seen inside their soul, and you know that you want to celebrate with them. So again, it's this pride stuff in the shadow that, you know, you're trying to physically work out this stress and just pretend like, yeah, I'm not really interested anymore. I will say Gloom is like my weed Pokemon, right? I mean, he's a stoner Pokemon. We'll just look at him, right? So there could be some energy about like that involved here. It says, the honey that drools from its mouth smells so atrocious it can curl noses more than a mile away. I remember, and I was actually thinking about that while I was cleansing. There was a reading a while back that like, while there's some like, if there's some stank shit, you're going to know there's some stank shit and you know to stay away. And that's kind of what I feel. There's just this like foul breath involved. And foul breath, I mean, it can include smoking and things like that, but I take it more as like someone lying. Someone not telling the truth. And I'm not sure if that's why you have your walls up and why you're like, I don't even want to hear it anymore because this person's lying to you and you can like smell the lies from a mile away. Or it could be that you maybe aren't lying, or you may not be telling the truth towards this person because you want to stay guarded and act like it's not really affecting you. Okay. It says, the way slack off lolls around makes anyone who watches it feel like doing the same. So going right to this. So we have, you know, this ego that is, you know, climbing trees and doing all this stuff. And then what's keeping you down is like other people around you not wanting to do anything and you wanting to follow suit. So it does seem like maybe some other people around you are kind of downers as well, to be honest. And maybe that's why you're blocking them out. Let's see what's the shadow. I feel like if you connected, if you connected to this other person, it would make you feel like not doing anything. Or like how it's affecting your pride is like that. Whereas usually you are swinging around and like, you know, climbing tree tops, working out. For some of you, maybe one way. For some of you, maybe the other way. Because I am getting a split timeline with that of how you're channeling your rage. Double dragon energy. Double dragon is twin flame. Okay, so it's in reverse. So in the shadow, it does look like this is a twin flame situation. And it's just not upright. So you're not aligned with your twin at the moment. So, whew. All right. So like I said, in the extended, we're going to take a look into what can we do to bring you to shore. That's the earth, the physical elements. We're going to see what angel wants to take us into the extended. And then we're going to see what can we do to dry you off. That's the air and mental element. And then advice for how to manifest the highest vibrational timeline. But let's see what angel wants to take us into the extended Victory. Heck yeah, duh. It's Aries. Of course it's going to be a victory. Archangel Sandalphon, your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So you will have victory in this situation. It is very, very obvious, right? Aries, you're always victorious and your season's just around the corner. Of course you're going to be victorious. So let's see what we can do to bring that victory in for you, Aries. I will also say I am closing my books for private readings for a couple months. So if you're interested in booking, do so during Pisces season, because in your season, Aries, I am going to be closing my books. Sorry about that. But if you would like to follow me into the extended for the rest of the spread, the link is in the description box below. If we part ways here, good luck with the situation. I am sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.